Hi there, guys. So this is a video of a class I've been doing recently, which has been really successful. I know a lot of you see the live stuff afterwards and are like, oh, if you told us, we'd have been there for it. But the main reason I do it is to allow you to read the chat, okay? So it doesn't matter if you're not there at the beginning, you can read it at the end and read all the chat. Gosh, I look really pale today. Right. So you're doing as I'm telling you. You're watching French television or Netflix or something, and you're seeing all the scripts, you're reading it out loud, you're reading books, you're reading literature, you're doing all you can to increase your reading knowledge of French, and that's great. But what we want is a way to be able to store that information and very, 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 very easily to be able to use it. To be able to, you read an expression, you've worked out what it's meant, that's interesting vocab, that's quite colloquial, how do we store it? So as with every other verb method that we use on logic language learning, we are looking at the verb, we're looking at the infinitive form, okay? And from that, we've to date found all of our different tenses. So for example, from the infinitive, we've used it to find a soft hard, to give us present with a soft hard. We found it to give us the imperfects. We're either going to copy the infinitive, a, je mangeais, or partez. We're going to listen to the hard in infinitive. We're going to listen to the infinitive to get me the past sound. We're going to listen to the infinitive to get me the réirarant, the future sound. So the infinitive to date is everything that we have used to find what we're doing. So this video is about to explain to you how we're going to read in text and store those sentences in an infinitive form, in a dictionary form, okay? And that really is going to make the difference. So, if, for example, I gave you the sentence, il mange, okay? Then, and I said to you, what's the infinitive? You would say the infinitive is manger, okay? So you would say the infinitive is manger. If I gave you the sentence tu feras, you would say to me, and I said to you, what's the infinitive? You'd say, oh, the verb raser. I'd say, okay, but what is the infinitive properly? Look at the information that's there. What is fully with it? It's a reflexive. So I would want, now, although you can have a personalized reflexive, se raser, becoming te raser, the dictionary form for me of any reflexive is se, isn't it? So the dictionary form, and those of you that are here, hi, by all means type. So if I asked you what is the dictionary infinitive of the sentence tu te rases, you need to say se raser, okay? Now, if you read anything that's, for example, if you read you read that, or you read je m'étais habillé, or je me serais habillé, whatever's going on, you read that expression. I need you to say, oh, the dictionary form of that is s'habiller. Okay? So now let's look at a few more. If I gave you this sentence, you tell me the dictionary form. So the infinitive of souviens is what? Souvenir. So you might be tempted to say, okay, Luke, so the dictionary infinitive of that verb is se souvenir. Yeah, se souvenir. And I'd say, okay, I want you to start thinking like this. I love building furniture. I love following instructions. If you've got a list of instructions, you need to think of your infinitive, your dictionary infinitive, as that instruction list. It's everything you need to create the sentence. So if I told you the verb was se souvenir, okay, is that enough to build your sentence? Not at all. So if I said, oh, the verb to remember is se souvenir, you'd go, so, and I said, okay, I remember Luke. All right, so je me souviens Luc, that would be wrong. What would we need? A de. So you need to start including de and a in your dictionary infinitives. You also need to start doing what we use when you look at dictionaries. So let's have a little look. If I went to right, I've gone to word reference and I've gone to, where have we gone? I've gone to permettre. Look what it writes. It uses these terms. These are your new best friends. QQN, QCH. Quelqu'un, quelque chose. So you're going to start storing, and actually faire. You're going to start becoming friends with quelqu'un, quelque chose, and faire. This is how we are going to remember structures. So, if, for example, the verb to remember was je me souviens de toi, what don't I need in a dictionary infinitive? I don't need the person doing it, and I don't need any specific information for that sentence. So the dictionary infinitive to remember would be se souvenir de quelque chose or se souvenir de quelqu'un. Okay? That is what your brain has got to have. From that, now, you are in a position to do all kinds of clever things. Yeah, so je me souviendrai. If I gave you as a fresh verb, se raser, say for me I shaved, je me suis rasé. Say for me I was shaving, je me rasais. So you've got to sort of find the neutral form with all the bits and all the ingredients in it that's going to give you that. So let's look at permettre à quelqu'un, okay? Those of you watching, feel free to type. So if I said the sentence, I allow, if I look at permettre à quelqu'un, what is between permettre and quelqu'un? What literally is between it? There is an à, all right? Look at it, permettre à. So when we talk about direct and indirect, half the time, this battle is when we're playing with le or lui, or when we're playing with les or leur, or la or lui. Does that matter? Yeah. So when you go, oh, I speak to him, I see him, the difference between le and lui, that's the big debate. But ultimately, when a verb is direct or indirect, we're looking at what would happen after the verb as well. So, for example, if I say I show him, meaning I'm not showing him as a baby to somebody, I'm showing him a photograph, I'm showing him. So that would be indirect. So we would say, I show him, je lui montre. The infinitive, montrer à quelqu'un. And you've got to remember that when you're using your direct and indirect before the verb, you're going to have to use à afterwards. No one cares at all about remembering it for the other people. Me, te, nous, vous will be the same for everybody. They will be the same if you are reflexive, direct, or indirect. They will be the same. The possible only link we need to worry about is me, te, nous as a pronunciation, or vous as a pronunciation. So if I go back to my sentence, which was permettre à quelqu'un, what's the relationship between the verb and the person, and à? So if I said I'm going to allow, anybody to do something, it needs to show off that à quality. So if I was like, I'm going to show him, let's go back to our other example. I'm going to show Luc, je vais montrer à Luc. So it's all very well and good practicing le and lui beforehand, but if you've got à quelqu'un in your infinitive, yeah, in dictionary form, now this either means you're going to store new stuff you find yourself like this, or you yourself are going to take it from the dictionary and create this. So if I gave you the phrase aider quelqu'un à faire, aider quelqu'un à faire quelque chose, all right? To help someone to do something. What is the relationship between aider and the person? Is there anything in the way, or does it just go straight from aider to quelqu'un? Feel free to type or speak, those of you who are there. So aider quelqu'un would be, it's direct. There's nothing at all in the way. Aider quelqu'un. So if I said, I'm going to help Luke, Je vais aider Luc. Yeah. I'm going to help her. You know, je vais l'aider. Because that would then be je vais l'aider. And you can tell that it's direct, i.e. it's le or la or les rather than lui. Thank you, curls, going well. That's great, okay? Because you can see from the dictionary thing that there's no in the way, okay? So let's keep going and let's start really thinking about what we need. If I wrote, or you read, je m'en souviens, je m'en souviens, what would be the dictionary form of that sentence? What would be the dictionary form of that verb? Anybody wants to type it, have a go. Okay, give you a few seconds. If anybody kills go wild, if you want to have a go. What would be the dictionary form of that verb? No? All right, so the dictionary form of that verb, okay, would be... Oh, yes, my darling, but Curls gone wild, what you've given me is you've given me a sentence. What I mean is the dictionary form of the infinitive. So the dictionary form of the infinitive basically means what are we going to look up? So if we looked at the verb to, remember, it'd be se souvenir. Okay? Now you're going to go, I mean, what you've written is correct French, well done, but the dictionary form would be se souvenir de, and actually se souvenir de quelqu'un. Okay? So you're going to go, oh, hang on, Luke, there's an on there. There's an on there. So surely you'd go, what is the dictionary form? Not sans souvenir? Is that not the dictionary form? And I will say, no, that's just basic bloody grammar. If I have got a sentence that uses de properly, I can then use an on if I play with the grammar. So we have to say to ourselves, dictionary form is a guideline, a set of instructions. It assumes you know the grammar. So for example, if I said, I need the cream. Yeah. How would I say the cream I have need of? Okay. If you want to write, you can write. Don't worry about the accents on the crème. It would be la crème. Any idea, anybody? The cream? Cream I need. La crème dont j'ai besoin. Oh, could you pass me the cream I need? Both of you, dont j'ai besoin, great, great. And I can see that you spelled checks are great. So it would be la crème dont j'ai besoin. You can't have the de and the dont. You have one or the other. Okay, good. Dont j'ai besoin, Bruno. Brilliant. Okay. If I said I need it, so I can't use de or I can't use dont, what's the other word I'm going to use? So I'll give you a few seconds. How am I going to say I need it? So I'm not going to be using de or dont. What am I going to say? I'll give you 10 seconds. If not, I'll type it. J'en ai besoin, Bruno. Brilliant. And anyone else that's typing that, you're great. So that is just grammar. That is just a grammatical usage of having a phrase with de. J'en ai besoin. If you read this in a sentence, or let me think. Or these are sentences which are using on. These are sentences which need on permanently as part of the construction. So sometimes when you have a reflexive with on, okay, you are just grammatically finding yourself in a situation with a reflexive with on. It's because you've got a reflexive verb which uses de, of which there are plenty, and grammatically you've done that. You don't need to learn that in your dictionary infinitive. That's just you playing around with it. You can change tense, you can change the de around. Okay? If you've got a verb that's got the en in it that you read like that, that's part of it, and obviously you might need to check that, you need to decide for yourself whether or not the en is. So you read that in some text, That's a lovely expression. You look it up. You need to decide whether the en is permanently part of the verb. So if I look at let's look at this one. Let's look at je m'en vais. What is the clue to working out the diction? And the dictionary imperfect is basically what you're going to keep in your head for that verb. So what is the dictionary form, the infinitive of je m'en vais? We don't need the person doing it, the je. What is the dictionary going to do with the me? What is the dictionary going to do with the en? What is the dictionary going to do with the vais? Curl's gone wild. You're half right, but that's not right. What's the dictionary form going to be? Perfect, Nick. Exactly. So Curl's gone wild. Well done, Patricia. So Curl's gone wild. So Curl's gone wild. The de, okay, the de is interchangeable with the dot and the en. I understand that, with a thing, and that's just grammar. But the whole point that we're making here is some phrases it can just jump around, and some phrases it's just got to be there, and it will always be there after the reflexive. Listen to me saying all the tenses. Okay, I'm going. Je m'en vais, je m'en allais, je m'en serais allé, je m'en irai, je m'en étais allé. If you want, I'll write those out. Let me write out a few. And notice that the en is always in the same place. I have that on the save, and I don't have to write the whole thing out. So je m'en vais. Start the move, Luke. I mean, there could be others. Okay, so basically the point is that je m'en is part of the freaking deal. We can't lose that. That's staying where it is. And so therefore the dictionary form will involve the m'en, the top. The only time we're going to separate those is if we have an infinitive. Actually, no, I stand corrected. The only time we would separate the je and the m'en would be in an infinitive. If you had an infinitive, je vais, you always have the cluster, the m'en, the ton, the sont, the nous en, the vous en together. Okay, that never separates. Okay. Great. So if I gave you, let's do another one then, and I want the dictionary form. So say you've read, je vais m'en aller. Ahana, that means, right. So in French, you can't say I'm going. You can say I'm going somewhere. Je vais à Paris. You can say I'm leaving. You can say j'y vais, I'm going there, j'y vais. But you can't just say, right, I'm going. You have to say, right, I'm going, I'm leaving, going. Je m'en vais. You can't say I go on its own. Yeah, you can't say je vais on its own. You have to say j'y vais, I go there. Or I'm going to a place. Yeah, so je m'en vais. And that's more I'm going as in I'm off, I'm leaving. Other French expressions like je me casse, yeah, which is slang for I break, like I break myself, right, I'm off. Then, je me casse, yeah, okay. And s'en aller as a verb is to be off. You can even as a command say to somebody, va-t'en, yourself from their go. So don't work it out literally. So if I said to you, and this is what you're going to read, absolutely Curl's gone wild, il faut que je m'en aille. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I need to be off, right? Or que tu t'en ailles if you're saying it to somebody else. So if I gave you l'oiseau, let's say the bird, the bird was flying away, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the answer. This is a standard phrase, i.e. the en needs to be there. What is the dictionary infinitive, therefore, of that you would need to commit? So you read that in your reading, you go, oh, that's great. What's the dictionary infinitive that you need to keep in your mind for that then? What's the dictionary infinitive that you need? The instructions that will give you everything that you need. Curl's gone wild. I want you to think of what the verb voler is. Not voyer, voler. Yeah. On what we're about to do, okay? we're about to do, but it's not that. What verb is voler from? If I told you it's the imperfect, what the imperfect always sounds like the infinitive if it's an a verb. If I said je mangeais, what's the verb? Manger. If I said il dansait, what's the verb? Danser. That's it, girls, come on, s'envoler, which is to fly away. As in, someday I'll fly away. That song, like, that is what you're going to do. It's, un jour je vais m'envoler, or je m'envole un jour, okay? So you are flying away, yeah? So your infinitive would be s'envoler. So if I gave you se laver, infinitive, dictionary form, from that, you've got all the information you need. You just need to add the grammar. How would you say I got washed in the past? Can you write for me, I got washed? Yeah, but we tend to just say un jour. Some, quelque is normally only used for plural, some entities. So it's interchangeable with day. So some apples, quelques pommes with an S, okay? If you've done any Italian, be careful because qualche can then use a singular noun. But je me suis lavé, great. Or if you're a girl, Kel's gone wild. Now be careful, Kel's gone wild. What's the infinitive? The infinitive was se laver. Did my infinitive have the on in it? No. Was the on in my instructions? No. So if you look at what Ahana, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, lovely name, Ahana, do tell me if that's correct, or write it phonetically for me. So if you look at what Ahana's written, that's it. And Kel's gone wild because it's, that's brilliant. So you are going, your infinitive, what are we saying the infinitive is? It's a bloody shopping list of everything you need. Go to the store and get that for me. Okay, that's it. So it's telling me I need the se, it's telling me I need the laver. I deal with the se, I make it me. I deal with the laver, I pop it in the past, so I'm going to use this week. It doesn't tell me I use the on. There's nothing there to tell me I use the on. I wasn't using de with the expression, which I will move in a trident way, and it wasn't giving me an on. Great. If I gave you the verb s'envoler, okay, let's give you one more warm-up. If I gave you again se raser, okay, how would you say he shaved? So another past, another reflexive past, poetry past. How would I say he shaved? You've got everything you need in the instructions. Il s'est rasé. Brilliant. Okay. And Kel's gone, I think that was just spell check. So that's fine. Il s'est rasé. Great. Okay. Side note, when you use those reflexives, if the thing that you're shaving is the person doing it, then these reflexive pronouns in the past then these reflexive poetry past will have an E and an S on the end, like laver. Je me suis lavé. What's getting washed? The person, so it will have an E on the end. If it was nous nous sommes parlé, we spoke to each other, also poetry past, but because it's reciprocal, we spoke to each other, what was being spoken, the language, that's not going to have an E or an S on the end if it was feminine plural. Okay, so I'll say that again. This je me suis tuté business, it's not like an extra verb where you automatically have an E and the S on the end. If the thing that's being dealt with by the verb is the person doing the verb, absolutely stick an E and the S on the end. But if the thing that's been dealt with most directly by the verb, so if I said nous nous sommes parlé in that sentence, what is being spoken? The language, the English, okay? So nous nous sommes parlé would be normal. It wouldn't have an S on the end. We touched each other, pardon the expression. Nous nous sommes touchés. What's being touched? We are. So that would have a definite S on the end and possibly an E. Or another really dumb way of checking it is check it in the present tense with je and a he. So if you say I touch him, do you say je le touche or je lui touche? Is it direct or indirect? What am I going to say? I touch him, je le touche or je lui touche? Somebody give me an answer. 5, 4, 3. Thank you. Lovely, because it's direct. I'm touching him. Okay. Big question to work out direct or indirect. The word what? So they touched each other. So if that shows it's direct, so the past will match. So ils se sont touchés, bearing in mind that they are male. Okay, how are you going to write they touched each other? Pardon me. Great. Perfect. Okay. So I see him, je le vois, ils se sont vus, elles sont miel. I give him, how do you say I give him? I give him a job, un travail. How do you say I give him a job? Lovely, Bruno. So that is indirect. So bearing in mind that's indirect, lovely. Look at you. It's a sea of beautiful French. I'm proud of you all. So with that in mind, with that in mind, can you then type out for me? They gave each other a present. They gave each other a present. Still poetry past, still reflexive past, but we're looking at what's going on the end. They gave each other a present. No, curl's gone wild, because what have we established? If the verb is direct, they didn't give each other. Yeah, they gave each other a present. The present, no pun intended. In the present tense, you said je lui donne. So the verb is the verb. So in the sentence, no. So curl's gone wild, almost there. So ils se sont donnés. Ils se sont donnés un cadeau. So what are my poetries? Plus past. Plus past. Plus past. Plus the past word. Plus the past word. Plus the past word. Obviously, il say, elle say, on say, or a name say, Luke say. So if you're saying they gave each other, is it in the past? Yes. Is it reflexive or reciprocal? Yes. Okay. So they gave each other a present. Ils se sont donné un cadeau. All we're debating is whether or not there's an S on the end. What was given in the sentence, they gave each other a present? The present. If something else was touched by the verb, you don't make the E and the S agree. Okay? Yes, exactly. But even if but to be honest with you, even if the present were plural, they gave each other some presents, it would not have an agreement. That's not the point. The point is that the donne is to do with presents, and it's not to do with them. So you only have an E and an S on the end of the reflexive. Je me suis, tu t'es, il s'est, nous nous sommes. If the thing that was given or the thing that was touched by the verb is direct. Okay. So moving on. So let's take a sentence that was in this week's Vie de Merde, and I strongly recommend you guys read Vie de Merde, which is a comedy website full of just little ironic, sarcastic little things that happen to different people in French. It's just really funny. The sister website in English is called Fuck My Life. There is an equivalent website in Spanish called Vaya Vida de Mierda, which I looked up, having found the opposite one, because I just assumed, right, vida meld, so the Spanish one will be, vida de mierda. I looked that up, I was like, Jesus, these stories are really depressing. And then I realized that Life of Shit was a suicide website in Spanish. So, yeah, the Spanish one is, so there's an Italian one, Vita di Merda, and there's loads. It's a really, really good group of websites. I really recommend you read it. The grammar's fantastic and it's funny. So on that website, some girl said, so, je me rapproche de mec mignon. Okay? I approach cute guys. So, looking at that as what's been written, you go, oh, that's an interesting phrase. I kind of get what it means. Approche, I kind of can see from rapproche, approach. I guess it's like one of those verbs in French which has an R on it. Okay. Yes, the complement objet direct. Yes, that's fine, but I don't want you to be, you can't carry that around with you, can you? You can't carry that idea around with you at speed. You basically just need to go, what has been lavé, or what has been montré, to that effect, okay? But yes, that's effectively what we're talking about. But be careful with that though, because that also, you know, that more comes into when you say things like je l'ai faite or je l'ai prise. Yeah, that's more like that kind of object. That's kind of when you've got an agreement with the past participle and the object. The object there, it's kind of more of a reflexive reciprocal pronoun, so it's kind of not quite the same. So it is and it isn't. So don't use that. But good attitude. So if I say I approach cute guys, can someone write out for me again the dictionary form of that verb? So this is what you need to do. So you read that, you go, oh, it's a good bit of word reference. What's my mind going to remember? What's the dictionary form I'm going to remember? Yeah, what is, because you're not going to remember that all of that otherwise. What's the dictionary form I need to remember for that? What do I need to keep? What don't I need to keep? And give me you another 10 seconds. Brilliant. And I would possibly go as far as se rapprocher de quelqu'un. Yeah, because what are we saying? People. So when you read a person in an expression, it's going to be reduced to quelqu'un. When you read a thing in an expression, it's going to be reduced to quelque chose. When you read a verb in an expression, it's going to be reduced to faire. Yeah, okay? So that's what it's going to be. So if I had the expression, so let's get some video mail, then I'll copy and paste them onto here. Okay. Let's find some. It's a really annoying website in terms of pop-ups. Jesus, it's absolutely littered with them. But I think it'd be useful for you. Brilliant. Oh, bugger. Hang on. No, let me do the whole thing. Ahana, I kind of don't do them to be live. I do them as a means of writing the stuff, and then people can read all the text that gets written. But I will announce, I'm going to probably try and do them on Saturday so that other people can join in, because the idea originally wasn't for people to join in. People are just liking joining in. It's basically so people can watch them afterwards and read all the text. But if you email me at logiclanguagelearning@gmail.com, anybody that's interested in being in them regularly, I will do that. Okay, and I'll let you guys know when we're going to do them. We'll possibly get it for Saturday then. So if you look at this story that I've just popped up, aujourd'hui, j'appelle ma grand-mère pour lui souhaiter un bon voyage et lui dire que j'espère qu'elle reviendra bientôt. Elle me répond, on se revoit dans 3 mois pour le mariage de ton père. Ah, merci pour la nouvelle, je n'étais pas au courant. So it's not about translation in this video. So today I call my grandmother in order to wish her a happy journey, a good journey, and to tell her that I hope she comes back soon. She will come back soon. She replies to me, we will see each other, we're seeing each other in 3 months for your father's marriage. Oh, thank you for the news. I wasn't up to date. I didn't even know that. So that's why this website's great, because it just has comedy. It just has absolutely brilliant comedy, right? So I don't mean laugh out loud comedy, but I mean, you've understood it because it's funny. So let's look. What information does this give us? Could somebody tell me what the dictionary form, including quelqu'un, is going to be for to call? Look at the relationship between appeler and ma grand-mère. So what's the dictionary form going to be? How are you going to say to call someone in the dictionary? Giving you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Great. So Curl's gone wild. Why have we got s'appeler? So you guys have gone, s'appeler, because often we say je m'appelle. There's no freaking reflexive pronoun there. There's not that. We're not on about that. So do you understand, Bruno and Ahana, that this isn't about to call to be called yourself, to call yourself. This is to call someone. Okay. So lovely. So Bruno's got it right. Apart from the spelling, let's have a little side note. This verb is a little shit. The verb is appeler. Okay, appeler. Have you ever noticed that you say appeler, but je m'appelle? So when it's ending on the sound L, it's got a double L. When it's the verb, it's appeler. Yeah? So for example, je vais appeler, one L. Je m'appelle, two L's. Tu t'appelles, two L's plus S. Il s'appelle, nous nous appelons. There's an ending, so we don't need the double L. Vous vous appelez, il s'appelle. Okay? I know Curl's gone wild. Isn't it interesting? We've also got to throw. Jeter. So jeter is the verb. How do you say I throw? Je jette. Je jette. If you find this useful, click like, by the way. And don't forget to subscribe. So jeter, je jette. Yeah? So je jette, double T. Tu jettes, double T, il jette. Nous jetons, listen to the sound, jetons, one T. Vous jetez, one T. Il jette, okay? Same with other verbs, don't we? We use, someone liked and then they took the like away. That's a bit upsetting. We had 3 likes and now we've got 2. And bear in mind there's 5 of you, that's a bit gutting. So if we had somebody, someone took it and they'll put it back. And 2 people just don't like it. So if you had another verb, lever, se lever, to get up. Je me lève, tu te lèves, il se lève, nous nous levons, vous vous levez, il se lève. Okay? So this time, je me lève, we will achieve sound change with an accent. Je me lève. Okay? The verb itself is bloody lever. Yeah, se lever. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of verbs which will do this in French. So you either use the double L, the double T method. So projeter, projeter, to project. I project, project, double T. Okay. You thought ER verbs were sacred. You thought they didn't get touched. You thought that was fine. No. Okay. So it gives it a different quality. So the point is that if the sentence was, so let's just go back up again. If you could scroll up, I'll put it up again. What we did in the first one. Where has it gone? If you look what was in the first one then. What's the relationship between the appelé and the grand-mère? Is it appelé à ma grand-mère or appelé ma grand-mère? So is it direct or indirect? 5 seconds to type direct or indirect. Is it direct or indirect? It's direct. There's no freaking word in it. So although we obsess about le or lui, meaning le is direct and lui is indirect, that basically means when you've got a name or the proper word after the bloody infinitive or after the word, sorry, you then have an a. Okay. So now let's look. So this is interesting. So for example, I call my mom back. Je rappelle ma mère. I remind my mom. Je rappelle à ma mère. So what is the dictionary form? What is the dictionary form? What's Bruno saying? Yeah, as in to call, as in, yeah, appelé, but yeah, to call someone. Yeah, as in he's going to call out to him. Yeah, yeah. He called me from the side of the street. Il m'appelle de l'autre côté de la rue. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in slang French, we'd say, il a crié, il a hurlé, il a gueulé. You know, we've got other verbs. So, all right then. So if I've just written out, je rappelle à ma mère, which is to remind my mom. So je rappelle à ma mère que. Yeah. Then can someone write out for me what the i.e. what you need to remember? This dictionary form is what you have in your head. Da, 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 da. With quelqu'un, thank you, Curl's gone well. Rappeler à quelqu'un. Or rappeler à quelqu'un said properly. Do you understand the point of this, therefore? So, rappeler à quelqu'un, I would possibly even add, so that it's an instruction, you know, rappeler à quelqu'un, and then a little kind of like, you know, de faire quelque chose. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Because otherwise, rappeler quelqu'un means to ring them back, okay? So let's go back to our sentence. Aujourd'hui, j'appelle ma grand-mère pour lui souhaiter. Guys, is lui souhaiter direct or indirect? If you're reading lui souhaiter. 5 seconds. Is lui souhaiter direct or indirect? It's indirect. Thank you. Because there's a freaking lui. Great. Okay. So, lovely. Okay. So the point is then, how would we dictionary form? Because we don't remember the whole sentence. How would we dictionary form remember? How would we dictionary form remember to wish somebody something? Have a go using the quelque chose, using the quelqu'un. So look at the original sentence. Je lui souhaite un bon voyage. Or pour lui souhaiter. It's just an infinitive. So let's pretend it was the present. No, because you'll have to extract these from all kinds of places. Lui souhaite un bon voyage. What's the dictionary infinitive? What's the dictionary infinitive of to wish someone something? Yes, that's the sentence, Bruno, but what's the dictionary infinitive? What's the to form in the dictionary? I.e. the infinitive verb and any of the bits of grammar that we've talked about, so the a or the de involving quelqu'un, involving quelque chose, involving faire. What's the form you're going to memorize? Lovely, but we were missing a bit off. People get reduced to quelqu'un. What do things get reduced to in this dictionary memorizing system? What do things get reduced to? People get reduced to quelqu'un. What do things get reduced to? 5 seconds. 5, 4, quelque chose. So it's not all. No. Listen, it's not quelqu'un or quelque chose. There are times when it's both. Okay. So I remember something. Je me souviens de quelqu'un. Je me souviens de quelque chose. Almost. Have another go. It's souhaiter. Okay, so look at the original sentence. Okay, so pour lui souhaiter un bon voyage. What's the link between souhaiter and un bon voyage? Was that direct or indirect there? Is there anything going on between that? No, it's just souhaiter straight up into the bon voyage. Okay, so it's souhaiter quelque chose à quelqu'un. Yeah, souhaiter quelque chose à quelqu'un. Now, great, exactly. Look at souhaiter. You got it? You got it? You understand? That's the form we'd need. Now, let's talk. Let's talk. Right? When you see these methods, the à quelqu'un will often come at the end. Yeah? Yeah? So, for example, je voulais souhaiter, you know, un joyeux anniversaire à mon père. If you then use a person, you're still going to use that freaking à with a name. How do you say, I wish him a happy birthday? I wish him a happy birthday. You've got 5 seconds. Can I remind you? Souhaiter quelque chose à quelqu'un. Can you give me, I wish him a happy birthday? Souhaiter quelque chose à quelqu'un. Thank you. Well done. You've got it. So the point is, when you do the dictionary infinitive, which tends to come first? Quelque chose or quelqu'un? Quelque chose. Permettre quelque chose à quelqu'un. Yeah? But when we use it in sentences with pronouns, which comes first? The à quelqu'un business, because it's going to go before the verb. Do you understand the point of this dictionary business now and how you can store stuff? Say, we understand why we're doing this, Luke, if we understand why we're doing this, okay? So let's carry on looking at the you know, that's what you'd have to memorize. Souhaiter quelque chose à quelqu'un. That way you haven't got to memorize the whole thing, okay? Just a little poem, a little slogan, okay? Right. Do please tell me if this is useful as we're going along, so I don't feel I'm wasting my time. Right. So we then had, I'll put the original back up again. Okay, we had the original. So we then had Great. I know you understand it, Hannah. I want to know if you find it useful. So the original thing is aujourd'hui, j'appelle ma grand-mère pour lui souhaiter un bon voyage et lui dire que j'espère. Look at lui dire. Is that direct or indirect? Quality. Is it direct or indirect? Thank you. Freaking brilliant. So you might, what would be the dictionary? Now you might go, okay, Luke, you've told us that when it's obvious grammar, we don't need to remember the dictionary form. Okay? But I'm going to say maybe just at the moment, you need to just be a little bit careful. Listen to English and how it lies. I tell him, I say to him. Tell is say and tell in French. Dire, pardon, is say and tell in French. How do you say I tell him in 3 words? Thank you, Kels Gumwald, you've gone in the direction I'm going in. So how would you say I tell him in 3 words? And then can you write I tell them? Thank you, Bruno, je lui dis, lovely, lovely. Can you then give me I tell them? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you give me I told them past? I told them. Hi, Mike, I told them. Bits before verbs, bits before verbs, bits before verbs. Can you give me I told them? Thank you. Right. So the point with it, lovely. Okay. So the point is with this, lovely. The point with this then is that you absolutely need a system that you're going to possibly go dire à quelqu'un, dire à quelqu'un. Okay. Let's be careful when we don't need to memorize these systems. Okay. Like with montrer. I show him, depending what we're saying. I show him the photograph. I show him to his grandmother. Can you write for me? I show him the photograph. I write in English. I show him the photograph. The photograph is la photo, and I show him to his grandma. Let's say to his uncle, because that's less for you to worry about with accents and hyphens. To his uncle. So I've just delivered a baby. I show him to his uncle. And the verb that we're using is montrer. Can you have a go at both of those? Because this was originally meant to be a teaching video where you could just read the comments, because this is now becoming a class with people online, it just means it's going to be really long for people watching this. So I do apologize. I might need to do an abridged version. Yeah, so can you give me I show him, although I'm happy to do it. I show him the photo, I show him to his uncle. Think about direct, think about indirect. Girls Gone Wild, if you're showing the photograph, what in that sentence is being shown? What in the sentence is being shown? Thank you, Nick. Yeah? Do you understand Girls Gone Wild? Because you're showing the photograph. So you're not showing him, yeah? You're showing the photograph to him. Je lui montre. Do you get it, Girls Gone Wild? It's indirect. Okay? Could you write for me, I show him to his uncle? Nick and Bruno, they're silent but deadly. You don't hear from that often, but when you do, it's powerfully correct. Not that you're not correct, Carl's gone wild. I'm just saying generally. So can I now see I show him to his uncle. Son oncle. Son oncle. Okay. I show him to his uncle. Lovely, yeah, so well done, Nick. The point is, thank you. The point is that's direct, okay? So all of this is to say, with certain verbs then, there would be no point in memorizing as a dictionary form, montrer quelque chose à quelqu'un. Because there might be time when you have to bloody montrer quelqu'un. Do you understand, okay? Good, excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's have another look at a little bit more story, okay? Let's have a look at another bit more vie de merde and see what else we can find. That's one that's got enough grammar in it. Okay. Aujourd'hui, ma copine rentre de son cours de tennis. Side note, notice how it's the word cours, not class, which I just so get sick of hearing. Aujourd'hui, ma copine rentre de son cours de tennis en larmes car elle se prit sa mère et son prof de tennis en pleine action dans les toilettes. Voulant la réconforter, elle me lance dans un accès de colère. Cet enfoiré me trompe avec ma mère. So this is not a translation lesson. This is about dictionary storage. So today my girlfriend comes home from her tennis lesson in tears because she surprised her mother and her tennis coach, tennis teacher, in the middle of it in the toilets in full action. Wanting to comfort her, okay, so I'm comforting her. She then throws back at me, you know, in a peak of rage, in a fit of rage. This fucker, this enfoiré is cheating on me with my mother. Okay, and he's the boyfriend, okay? So, let's just have a look. Aujourd'hui, ma copine rentre de son cours de tennis, machin, laisse tomber, on n'en a pas besoin, we don't need it. En larmes, car elle a se pris sa mère, okay? So, as dumb as it sounds, most verbs, unless otherwise, would be direct, won't they? So, se prendre sa mère. Can you see how that's direct, okay? So, surprendre quelqu'un. It's not surprendre à quelqu'un. What's my big bad question to work out whether it's direct or indirect? The word what. What is being surprised? The mother, okay? Et son prof de tennis en pleine action dans les toilettes, okay? So, there's a new verb here. What's the verb to comfort? Okay, what's the verb to comfort in its infinitive form? Using quelqu'un or quelque chose, can you write down what the dictionary infinitive is of the verb of comfort? And you can tell whether it's direct or indirect by what is going on immediately before it. So the sentence we're playing with is voulant la réconforter. Okay, thank you, Curls Gone Wild. Exactly. That's the point. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So you'd memorize it. So you might just go, well, that's obvious grammar. To comfort him. What's being comforted? Him. Okay. Now, this is where you've really got to turn up the focus, guys, and this is where you're going to go into advanced rather than intermediate. And anybody I teach will know this. It's bloody easy to use me, unter, and nous, and vous. There's no freaking problem with that. There's no problem with that whatsoever. Because it doesn't make any difference. Where we've got to be careful is when we start using him, her, them, because then we have to decide whether we're using le, la, les versus lui and leur. So let's look at the phrase elle me lance. Okay? She's throwing me, or she throws, whatever. If I wanted to make that to him, yeah? So is she throwing me, or is she throwing something at me? So if I wanted to make that she threw him, yeah, exactly. So elle lui lance, exactly. Yeah, do you understand? So that's the concept that I would go, that might possibly not need a dictionary infinitive, but that would possibly need grammar. Okay, that would just be grammar, you'd know that, okay? So it's up to you when you read these things to do two things, and this is the point of this lesson, which at 54 minutes in is about bloody time. The point of this lesson is when you read an expression, get the dictionary infinitive down. If you think you would naturally recreate that situation, direct and indirect, okay? Yes, exactly, Bruno. Yeah, exactly. Or she's a really mean, angry bitch and she's throwing him physically across the room, okay? What would be she throws him? Elle le jette, double T, yeah, as opposed to the jeter. If you are, the humans made me forget what I was saying now. Yes, so you absolutely need to look at your reading in whichever tense it's going to be in and go, right, would I automatically have felt that direct and that indirect? You know, I mean, often it will just be, is it different from English? Would I have automatically got that is a lui situation versus a le situation? That is basically what you need to do. Every freaking expression you've got. For those of you that want it, hang on, I've got a really useful video on this. Just give me 1 second. Can I go to YouTube on another YouTube window without screwing everything up? Possibly not. This will probably disconnect you all. My channel. Let's have a little look. Videos. Let's have a little look. Freaking brilliant. Luke Europe legend. Right, so this is a video that I want you to watch, some of you to watch. It's about discovering le ou lui. It's about basically working it out and finding out which one's a le ou lui. Or consequently, le, la, lay versus le. So this is something that you would need to do. So if you feel you need to memorize the dictionary form, you now know how to do it. From any of the tense, you extrapolate the tense. If you'd read je m'en, if you read, let's finish with some examples. J'en aurais marre de lui. I will be sick of him. Can somebody write out the dictionary infinitive of this for me? Five, 4, 3. En avoir marre de quelqu'un. Lovely. We don't have people in dictionary infinitives. We keep shit in the order that it's in. We have every shopping list ingredient that's going to be there. Okay? Curls Gone Wild. Why do I need reflexive? Look at the original sentence. Look at the original. No, Bruno. That's it. Marrer is not the verb. Look at it. J'en aurais marre. What's the verb there, Bruno? Avoir. Yeah? Can you see that? Yeah? If I gave you il avait faim, yeah? Please say faim, not femme, which is woman. Although at least you're saying femme rather than femme, which is the other thing which I have to deal with. So that's arrogant. You know, there's things I know other people don't know. I can't do other people's jobs. But when I tell people repeatedly, it's une femme and j'ai faim. Okay? Lovely. Thank you, Curls Gone Wild. Avoir faim. Okay? So that would be one that we need the en in. Okay? If you read a woman had said this. Yeah. What's the infinitive of that? The dictionary infinitive. Don't be thrown by a clever auxiliary in a different tense. What's the dictionary infinitive for that? Those of you who just joined, it's lovely to have you. This will be available very soon when we're finished. Yes, so Mike, serait from être, that's right. But what I mean is, what's the dictionary infinitive for the whole form? Thank you, Bruno. S'en aller. S'en aller. So what is a dictionary infinitive? A bloody shopping list. A bloody shopping list. So you go through s'en aller, you'd make it m'en aller. You go through, you pop an infinitive in it the way you did, you pop a reflexive in it like you pop an auxiliary in it like anything else. So je m'en vais, je m'en allais, I'm off out of there. Great. Let's just look at a little bit more from VideoMail to finish. Those of you that have just joined, we've gone through websites like VideoMail, and we're looking at how to store our new finds, our new special compound, clever sentences, and how to basically do it. Okay, let's have a look. Et one more. Aujourd'hui, on a vu, on remplit, on me pousse pour ce soir. Sur le siège que je suis très bien, celui qui This is a great story. Here we go. I hate how you cannot copy more than a few lines into this. Nation, let me take that. Okay, there, people have left us because of the pause, never mind. So, aujourd'hui, un homme entre dans le bus, peu rempli, et me pousse pour s'asseoir sur le siège que j'occupe, prévu pour 1 personne et demie. Okay? Mention qu'il y a place pour 2, il répond à mon Mais quand on demande qu'il s'est fait opérer de la hanche, moi je suis juste enceinte de 8 mois. Okay. Amant would be incorrect there. Okay. That's weird. That's weird. It should be replies to me. Okay. Il me répond. Lovely. Today a man got on the bus, which wasn't very full, and pushes me to sit down on the seat. Seat is also head office. Siège is also head office. Those of you who are learning business French, if you want to do business French, contact me. Que j'occupe, prévu pour une personne et demie. Prévu is like planned, scheduled, placed aside for. Quelque chose de prévu, something planned. Notice quelque chose de. Yeah. M'assurant qu'il y a place pour deux. There's place for two people. Assuring me there's place for two people. He responds, we'll get rid of the amant, so unhappily, qu'il s'est fait opérer de la hanche. Notice there's a rare la hanche. Normally H words go hanche, okay? Moi, je suis juste enceinte de 8 mois. Notice we're saying 8 mois, not 8 mois. So to finish, this is our last one. So can somebody give me, let's go stage by stage. Can somebody give me the infinitive of the verb et me pousse? What's the infinitive going to be? The dictionary infinitive. 5. No. Thank you, Bruno. Just because it's got a me doesn't mean it's reflexive. Me just also means and pushes me. Yeah, that's not a reflexive verb. Yeah, yeah. Do you understand? Hannah, do you understand what we're saying? You're just using a me. Yeah, me could be me donne, he gives me. Doesn't mean it's reflexive verb because it's the same pronoun for whatever's going on. If you find this useful, click like. I've still only got 5 likes. So, lovely. If you've got that, then let's look at the next thing. Un homme entre dans le bus, peut rempli et me pousse pour s'asseoir. What's the dictionary infinitive of to sit down? There you go. You've read it in the text. What's the dictionary infinitive to sit down? 5, 4. Thank you, s'asseoir. So that's all I need. A dictionary infinitive is a shopping list. If I said I sat down, je me suis assis. Yeah, past ASS, IS, which is where you get je me suis assise or all this kind of business. Okay, lovely. Okay, can you still scroll up and see the original, or do you want it again? Okay, sur le siège que j'occupe, prévu pour une personne admis. Look at the next bit. M'assurant qu'il y a place pour deux. M'assurant. What is the verb to assure somebody? What is the verb to assure somebody? Anybody? Now, this is my point, Nick. Well done. In the text, there is nothing that tells us it is assuré à quelqu'un. Because me and te and nous and vous are freaking direct and indirect. It makes no difference. So this is where we have to automatically, every single freaking time, have a little think, okay? Sometimes in English we can handle this with the what game. What are you assuring? You're assuring the man. That would lead you towards direct. Let's look what happens when we go across our friend word reference, okay? Let's have a look, okay? Let's have a little look what happens, okay? Here we go. Right. Assurer à quelqu'un. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Que, and then that would just mean verb transitive, so it would be carrying on through, and then conjunction, whatever's going on, okay? So the point is, we wouldn't know from m'assurant. M'assurant is the ing form, by the way, assuring. So it's always worth a check. Okay, that's one that doesn't match your English. So do you see the point of the dictionary thing? So what do we have to do? Assurer à quelqu'un. Or let's be bloody honest. What is, when we're dealing with the direct and the indirect, what is a better way of memorizing this? Je lui assure. Je le rassure. Okay, so you basically got to use the practice saying it. You're never going to mess up m'assure, t'assure, nous assure, vous assure, because you know it. Because it's just going to be the same me, nous, vous. Do you understand what I'm saying? The ones that are going to be different are the lui and the leur. So can you see how what we've been doing as a method absolutely matches what's written in the dictionary there? Okay. You're very lucky with word reference if you get one that involves a third person. Okay. Because often it just won't. Often it will involve a m or an a t. And I even wrote to them saying, please, for the love of God, could you put in some more third people because it would make it easy for my lot to understand. Can you see what is, thank you, Kelton Wild. I really appreciate that. You can email me at logiclanguagelearning@gmail.com. So the tour guide assured the group, assured, if we're being posh, the group that they would be able to see Wales from the boat. Le guide touristique a assuré au groupe. Because when you've got assuré à quelqu'un, don't freaking get the a could sometimes be à le o or à la or that'd be the same, à les o, aux. Do you understand? So when we're working these orders out, something à quelqu'un or something quelqu'un, if it's à quelqu'un, you've got to pop the name or the thing, so a proper noun, after à, or je, whatever. So if it's assurer à quelqu'un, could you say for me, I'm going to assure them that it's okay. I'm going to assure them that it's okay. So we've just established it's assurer à. Can you write down for me, I'm going to assure them that it's okay? I'm giving you 10 seconds. That is beautifully handled, Ahana, but I want you to be vigilant with this in French. If you use go in English, you use go in French. If you use will or I'll or I shall in English, you use reirera in French. And I really mean this because it's the same business. If you're talking about plans that are made, you use je vais. I'm going to come, je vais venir. Don't feel the need, as glorious as it is, Ahana, that you're comfortable going straight up into the proper future. We don't want that to happen. We don't want you every single time to use the future, the clever future, the simple future, as we call it, okay? It's not called simple because it's simple to do. It's called simple because it's one word. Stick to that. Stick to that. If in English you say gonna come, use je vais venir. If in French you say I'll come, use je viendrai. You really stick to those things. There's one other thing for the future, which is a lot of the time in English we say the present, and in French we go into the simple future, but that's a separate issue. Okay. So yes, so do you see my point? Do you see my point? It's going to be le rassurer. So you've learned that by either going je le rassure or assurer à quelqu'un. Let's finish our story. Let's just pop it up again. Let's just pop up what the original one was. Where's our story? Thank you, Anna. So let's just pop up our story. So I'll pop up the last bit. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So unhappily, mécontentement, qui s'est fait opérer de la hanche. What is the verb? I was going to end on one of these. I'm so blissfully happy. What is the dictionary form of the verb? So he was operated on. He got his hip operated on. What? Remember, a shopping list from the infinitive in the dictionary gives my sentence, and remember my sentence needs to create the shopping list. What is the dictionary form, guys, of il s'est fait opérer de la hanche? What is the dictionary form of that? Yeah? Mike, that is the individual verb. That is the individual verb. What the dictionary form means the verb and all the crap on either side. If you felt opérer would cover it, fine. Yeah, but it doesn't. Se faire opérer. Yeah, de quelque chose. Exactly. Let's look what's gone on there. So opérer, Mike, is completely correct as a verb. He operated. Il a opéré. The surgeon operated. Le chirurgien a opéré. They're going to operate. Ils vont opérer. In that context, that would be fine. What is se faire doing to a verb? Will someone please explain the difference to me between je vais me tuer and je vais me faire tuer? Je vais me tuer. and je vais me faire tuer. Would someone please explain the difference to me, to those two, to end on? Well, not really curls gone wild, because a reflexive verb is no, Nick, there's nothing about kill you. There's no, don't be persuaded by it. No. I love you all from this past hour, but fail, and fail. What would be je vais me laver? What would be je vais me laver? Je vais me laver, what would that mean? Laver, not lever. Je vais me laver. That's it, yeah. But otherwise, Mike, you're completely right with tense, okay? No, Kurokawa, it doesn't mean I'm going to kill myself. Oh, and yes, I mean, Kurokawa, if you're referring to the previous comment, yes, okay? So basically, so je vais me tuer. Tuer means to kill. So Kurokawa, you're absolutely correct. So je vais me tuer means I'm going to kill myself. I am going to make that verb happen, yeah? If I said to you, yes, I'm going to make myself killed. I'm going to make myself killed. But do we say I'm going to make myself killed? Is that how we say it in English? Do we say, do mothers say to their kids, get down off that wall, you're going to make yourself killed? Or do I say to drunk friends, put the freaking bottle down, you're going to make yourself arrested? What do we say? What's the English? 5, 4, thank you, Nick. So basically, think about it like this. If we say, he makes me happy, he makes me happy, he makes me work. So let's say Luc. So Luc me rend content. We know the debate. If you're new to this, rendre, but make somebody an adjective. Yeah, rendre to make somebody an adjective. Faire to make somebody do a verb. So Luc makes me work. Luc me fait travailler. Second verb in the infinitive. So I'm going to make myself killed, kind of thing. So je vais me faire tuer. So with that said, okay, the curl's gone wild. Content is a bloody adjective. So is it going to be faire or rendre? Content is an adjective. Thank you, Mike. Il me rend heureux is absolutely fine, as well as content. Curls gone wild. If you are a lady, I assume because of curls gone wild that you're a lady. You know, il me rend contente. You can have great curly hair as a guy. Yeah, that would be il me rend content. Il me rend heureux. Il me rend contente. Okay, lovely. So the point is this: if I gave you the verb se laver, how do you say I got washed? Je me suis lavé. Brilliant. Or je me suis lavé if you're a girl. If the verb is se faire laver, okay, so what did we do? We did poetry past. We did poetry past. Poetry past verb. So if I've got se faire rather than se laver, how are you going to say thank you? That's what I was trying to say in English. I got myself washed, which isn't really what you sort of say. But yeah, so I got my, unless it was I got my hair washed by someone else. Je me suis fait laver les cheveux. So a lot of these verbs are like going to be se faire tatouer, se faire couper les cheveux. So verbs that you get done to you, okay? It's going to be se faire. So the dictionary, I don't mean to be like a salesman, but the dictionary compound would have given you that. The dictionary form, se faire laver, would remind you, because it's a shopping list, or se faire tatouer, let's say it was that tatouer, je vais me faire tatouer, I'm going to get tattooed. Je vais me tatouer would be like, I'm going to, freaking do it myself with a needle kind of thing. So often with French, go, oh, I cut my hair, je me suis coupé les cheveux. Maybe you trimmed your own ends, or you took the clippers to it, or something, which I probably need to do. But the point is, that is what you do. So the point is, do you understand the point of the dictionary infinitive as opposed to just the infinitive of the verb? It means the infinitive and other stuff that's going to come before it and after it. It's a way to store it. It's a way to read what you're reading and make sure that we've got it in a method that we're going to use, because we're not going to be able to constantly. Now, does this mean I don't want you to say out loud and use your mouth and muscle memory and all the other French that you're coming across? Of course not. Of course not. I want you to do that. I want you to practice going all these things from left to right. Yeah, whatever you do, whatever verb you have, whether it's a single verb, an a verb, whether it's got a reflexive, whether it's got a pronoun, I want you to practice going all the way left, all the way right. You know, if you read pousser quelqu'un, say I push him, je le pousse, je le poussais, je l'ai poussé, je le pousserai, je le pousserai, je l'aurais poussé. Practice go left to right. If you've got, you know, a reflexive verb, se laver, je me lave, je me suis lavé, je m'étais lavé, je me lavais, je me laverai, whatever, go left to right. If it's se rendre compte de quelque chose, je me suis rendu compte, je m'étais rendu compte, so practice going left to right from your infinitive, okay? Otherwise, all you're going to do is just be reading wonderful compounds, understanding it, which is great. That's valuable. I'm not saying it's not, but you won't have anything to remember and take forward in an easy, usable way. If you found this useful, do please drop me an email if you're interested in classes, logiclanguagelearning@gmail.com. Okay, if you're interested in getting together to do a regular time that we do a group thing, okay, I'm more than happy to sort that out. But can you email me where you are time zone wise and what your availability is, and we'll start a little group email and we will do this, because I don't normally do these for the group. I do it so people can read the bloody typing. But it's been useful today, not a bit long. But thank you for your energy. I hope it's been useful. Those of you that joined towards the end, do please watch from the beginning. It really is a blooming useful thing. It's about taking information from the French that you're reading so that you can store it. Thank you, Curls Gone Wild. Drop me a little email. Let me know where you're from, how long you're learning from, all that kind of thing. It's really interesting for me to know. You're very welcome, Nick, indeed. All right. I will see you guys soon. Do watch all of this in full if you didn't watch it from the beginning, or at least watch the bits that you missed out on. I really can't express that enough. Thank you, Curls Gone Wild. Thank you, Kurokawa. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Ahana. You're from the States. That's lovely. Mike, thank you very much. The States has got a big place. Let me know where. So I will speak to you guys soon. Thank you very much indeed. If you haven't already liked, I'd appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you can subscribe. I think you are subscribed if you can see that this is here. Otherwise, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Do tell your friends, and I will speak to you very soon. Take care.